It's a little while.
Yeah. It's a little-
Yes, it is.
One last question for you, Mr. Kisinger. What do you see as the future of Brownsville? What would you like to see as the future of Brownsville?
That's a very hard question to answer. I've kicked that kind of a question around a lot of people. I can't come up with any solution for the future of Brownsville like anybody else. I don't see where you can turn it into an industrial complex. There isn't the room here. You can restore the historical district, things like that. That's what we tried to do, bring some tourists in. As a its future is just as a residential location, I suppose, where people would live here and drive to work. What else?
Yeah, like as a bedroom community, more or less.
I think so. A bedroom community, and I can't see where it's suitable. It's not. It hasn't held the industries very well that it has had. I mean, we've had Hillman Barge. That's the latest casualty. It's currently shut down. I think maybe they have called a few people back to work up there, but it's that is a very you're up against a dead end street to me. You're saying what's the future of Brownsville? It'll continue on, just like the rest of these valley towns. They're here. People have to live somewhere.
They're all in the same boat.
Yes, that's right. Whether you're talking about Brownsville or California, Fayette City. California, of course, has the college, but a lot of people that are connected with the college do live here. They buy houses here and drive to work. And they do spend their money here, I suppose. Some of it, anyway.
You think the 4-lane going through was a boon to this district, or?
Oh, I don't think it affected it much, one way or the other. I don't think it didn't help it any. I don't believe it did. What new development we've seen here has been on the end of town, up here on the eastern end, up at the top of the hill, and a little bit out the western end out there, where you have the Ford dealer out there, things like that. But you don't see development down in the original town.
No.
You see closed, empty storerooms.
It just seems to me like that 4-lane almost cut right through. It almost separated that side from this side. Took out a whole lot of historic.
Well, the upper Market Street's the same width it was originally. It hasn't. I don't know that it's affected it anything. I don't know that it's affected that much.
Are the sidewalks the same width as they were?
I think they are.
But the trees had to be cut down.
Well, there were trees that have been removed. That's right.
Well, thanks very much for talking with me.
Well, is that all? Is that all you're interested in? That's.
Well, can you think of some things that perhaps you could?
I was always interested in the river a good bit as a hobby. That's all I can tell you about that.
The boats,
the river and the boats pretty closely. I think Brownsville's had some business as a result of the river. I mean, Hillman Barge is. You had the coal industry around here. You had transportation of coal and things like that. You've had coal trucking. You've had industries affiliated one way or another with coal mining. Right. That's about the extent of the. I haven't seen. We've tried to bring industry in here. I've served before, previously, on several different development councils and things, but we never were able to accomplish much. Never able to bring anybody in here.
Into town itself.
That's right. That started anything that prospered or succeeded very well.
Well, you'd think with the river down there, though, of course the railroad tracks are in the way, but you think being next to a river you could get some restaurants or tourist-oriented people?
The railroad closes Brownsville off away from the river. It comes up along there and it walls up over the shoreline, and it's not a town that normally approaches a river. due to that. There's only one small access to the river, that's that wharf, the old wharf down there by Dunlap Creek. That's the only access to the river from the town. And that's not very adequate. It's small and steep, not any room for expansion or anything there.
Now, West Brownsville at least doesn't have that barrier, but
Still hasn't developed anything. Hadn't been much interest. A few small boat harbor down along there, where people maybe keep a pleasure boat tied up, that sort of thing.
you think the plans that groups like Bark have for trying to bring in, take over G.C. Murphy's building, for example, and put apartments in there? And
I don't see that moving ahead very successfully. To me, to try to put apartments in the Murphy building, you'd practically have to tear the building down to comply with building codes. And I mean, I don't know that you have enough to start with there to justify working with it. You know, you'd be better off just to tear it out of there and put a new group of buildings in there like Mulligan Manor or something on that order. I think you start out with